Hello, Fräulein. My name is Onum Zola, and I'm going to hack your Peloton.
I'm not even gonna lie. Onum Zola hacking somebody's Peloton and just making it go really fast, and then like they fall off, that would be funny. I mean, it wouldn't be funny if they got hurt, but like it'd be funny to see it happen. It'd be like a fail video or something like that. Anyway, what's going on, guys? And apparently it's basically confirmed now, Tobey Maguire is gonna be in Doctor Strange 2, right? I guess Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios haven't officially said that, but literally everybody's like, yeah, man, it's happening. Andrew Garfield is the question now. A lot of people are like, is Andrew Garfield going to show up in this movie? Here's the funny thing. It makes perfect sense that Tobey Maguire would be in this movie. And I have been, look, here's the, I've been saying this about Doctor Strange 2. I've been saying this about Doctor Strange 2, and some of you guys have been thinking I was lying, right? And I'm angry. Some of you guys, I'm angry right now. Some of you guys thought I was lying. Now here's the thing, for real or for true. With Doctor Strange 2, the big kind of, the way it's been billed by like Sam Raimi and all those guys has basically been like, it's gonna be a game changer for the MCU. And I have been saying this over and over and over and over again. Doctor Strange 2 is going to lead to a consolidation of the multiverse, and basically all the properties that belong to Fox and whatever properties Sony wants to bring in, and of course the properties that the Marvel Cinematic Universe has, they're all gonna end up combining together. It's a great way for the MCU to bring back characters that otherwise have basically been removed. So like if they wanted to bring back Red Skull, for example, and say he's not just some disembodied dude who's sitting out there guarding the Soul Stone, and that we were all kind of disappointed because we were really hoping that Steve Rogers would see him again, which would have made for a really cool scene when Steve Rogers was like, I can't believe you're alive, and Red Skull's like, I can't believe you're alive either, man. Dick. Like, I mean, it's one of those things we always wanted to see, right? But nonetheless, it's a way for them to basically consolidate all that stuff and bring it all back together. If they want to reintroduce Iron Man, albeit without Robert Downey Jr., which I don't know how fans would be receptive to, they could do that. If they wanted to bring back Thanos, they could do that. If they want to introduce whole new heroes, they can do that. I mean, there is the screenshot out there of apparently the credit scene with like all the people who were appearing in the movie, which includes like Hyperion and stuff like that. I don't believe a word of it, but it would be cool if it happened, right? Like apparently Henry Cavill's playing Hyperion, which would be hilarious. Most of you guys don't know who that is. Hyperion is the closest thing Marvel has to Superman. Like Marcus Milton from Earth, what is it, 13034? He's basically Superman by all standards of measurement. The closest thing he got to that was Sun God during Jonathan Hickman's Avengers, New Avengers. But like, it'd be hilarious if Henry Cavill comes to the MCU, he plays Hyperion, and everybody was like, yeah, man, the MCU makes a better Superman than Warner Brothers does. It would be hilarious. But here's a cool thing, right? Here's a cool thing behind all this. Having Tobey Maguire in Doctor Strange 2 makes the most sense. It makes the absolute most sense, and for a couple different reasons. The first one is Sam Raimi's making Doctor Strange 2. Sam Raimi made the original Spider-Man. If the question was asked to him, hey man, you get to have one version of Spider-Man brought to Doctor Strange 2, which one do you want? Of course he would pick Tobey, right? Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man go hand in hand. The other reason is why Spider-Man is apparently going to be in Doctor Strange 2. Now, this is the part that's a little bit of rumor, although I think confirmations are basically slowly coming out here. The idea is that somewhere along the line of the film, he's gonna fight the Scarlet Witch. Now, here's the funny thing about this, right? I know a lot of you guys are just like, oh man, this would be so cool, but like he would get crushed. Would he though? Here's the important thing to understand about Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. One, he's the most experienced out of all the Spider-Men, right? Out of Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield, Tobey has been Spider-Man the longest, right? He's like your granddad's Spider-Man, right? I mean, you know, like even when he came through the portal in Spider-Man No Way Home, sure, he was calm, right? Which honestly, I kind of wish there'd been a little more hype, right? He's just kind of standing there and he was like, what's up, young whippersnappers? Like he just kind of came in, and it's like, I mean, I would have hoped for a little more grandeur, right? A little more pomp and circumstance. Andrew Garfield's entrance was amazing. Oh my God, dude. I still get goosebumps when I watch it. It's just man. It's one of those, it's just one of those things, right? It's like the fan reactions and everything, it's so phenomenal. But with Tobey Maguire being more experienced, the most important thing to take away from that is not how he approaches situations. It's not how he approaches conflicts and fights. It's the development of his spider sense. So when it comes to Marvel Comics, the only reason Spider-Man ever does as well as he does is because of his spider sense. Remove the spider sense from Peter Parker, right? Take the spider sense away from Peter Parker. What is he? He's a really smart kid that can punch hard and climb up walls, and that's it, right? But like, virtually anybody could trash him, right? Like Venom would be able to destroy Spider-Man. Like his stories would not be very lengthy at all. His spider sense is what saves him 9 times out of 10. Now his spider sense is not perfect, right? So if somebody were to like attack him, he would know that he's in danger and he might know the general direction of where that danger is coming from, but he wouldn't know the details of it. But that's changed over the years as Spider-Man's spider sense has been expanded on and become more adept. You would have to believe that would apply to Tobey Maguire. There were multiple instances in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films where his spider sense had seemed to be refined to the point, especially when you get to Spider-Man 3, where he could actually determine the location of where the danger was coming from and react accordingly. Now imagine 20 years has passed, right? If we treat Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man the way it was seemingly treated in Spider-Man No Way Home, that 20 years has actually passed since the 3rd Spider-Man movie and the time he was brought back in Spider-Man No Way Home, we have to believe it's 20 years worth of improvement regarding his spider sense. It's ridiculously fine-tuned. You compare that to Andrew Garfield, who had only been Spider-Man for about 5 years. You compare it to Tom Holland's Spider-Man, who had only been Spider-Man for less time than that. So it's one of those things where like Tobey is more adept. Now, what does that mean in relation to Scarlet Witch? Could he beat Scarlet Witch? No, it is ridiculous to believe otherwise. Like, he would not be able to beat Scarlet Witch. He would just stand a better chance. But then once you start adding cards to this deck, right? Once you start adding different players in, then suddenly Spider-Man becomes incredibly important. And that's one of the things that's so cool about this, right? Over the years in comics, Spider-Man has been depicted in different ways when it comes to his intelligence. He's kind of capable, sometimes he's not, whatever. One of the best ways his intelligence was depicted was during Dan Slott's Spider-Man run during Big Time, when there was like a bomb that was gonna go off or something like that, and nobody else could figure out how to disarm it, and Peter Parker figured it out. That's the important thing, is that when you take into account Tobey Maguire's spider sense, you take into account anything that's remotely close to an adaptation of how his spider sense has progressed in the comics into the movie, and then you add his intelligence into the movie, then what you have here is a guy who, while he's not the most powerful, he's a guy you need. I mean, if we had people like Black Panther, or we had Adam Brashear, or even like Dr. Doom, or something like that, it would make all the difference in the world, but we don't, right? Unfortunately, we lost Chadwick Boseman, so we don't have T'Challa, and there's probably nobody else as smart as T'Challa is. Reed is supposed to be in the movie, but apparently he's part of the Illuminati, so it wouldn't really look like he'd be working on behalf of Doctor Strange or anything like that. One of the things we've been talking about here is basically the Multiverse of Avengers, which has more or less been confirmed, right? Like, we said that months ago with like Doctor Strange 2, like, what is it, like 6 months ago? We were just like, we're getting the Multiverse of Avengers, right? Like, there's no way that's not gonna happen. When they first started giving us little bits of information about Doctor Strange 2, and when we first started making videos here about Doctor Strange 2, it was like, Multiverse of Avengers, calling it now, right? That's exactly what's happening. Having Spider-Man on that team, right? Let's give ourselves a kind of general roster here, even if we don't have an absolute depiction, right? You got Doctor Strange, there's your magic side. You've got America Chavez, there's your ability to jump through portals, right, to give you basically access ports, escape hatches, different things like that into other realities. You got Peter Parker, who's basically your brains, and then the spider sense can also make him aware of when attacks are coming. Other people can piggyback off his spider sense to know if they're basically in imminent danger, right? It's one of those things where he's like, everybody gather around, right? And Spider-Man's wearing a shirt, right? Like, I've got a spider sense, if you see me running, try to keep up, right? That kind of a thing. So it's you have different characters that could offer something there. Having Spider-Man there makes the most sense. Tobey Maguire would be the best person to add to that list. He's got the experience, he's got the intelligence, plus it would just be cool to see. Now again, whether or not we get Andrew Garfield, I don't know. That's one of the big things about Doctor Strange 2. I think if we do end up seeing Andrew Garfield, there's gonna be just like some multiversal hopping, like hopping and skipping around different universes, things along those lines, which may very well lead to us getting Andrew Garfield or seeing him in some kind of cameo capacity. But I have a hard time believing with the way Spider-Man No Way Home ended, the fan reception to it, the fact that we were all so hyped about seeing Andrew and seeing Tobey, that's the last we're ever going to see of them in any meaningful capacity, right? That like Doctor Strange is gonna walk into the universe where Andrew Garfield is, and Andrew Garfield is like making pancakes, and Doctor Strange's like, oh, my bad, man, and Andrew's like, no, it's cool, and then like he leaves. I doubt that'll be the case, right? I think it'll be an actual meaningful appearance. What the depth is, I don't know. But as far as Tobey Maguire goes, I think he's a member of the Multiversal Avengers. He's one of the different superheroes Doctor Strange is banding together for the purpose of either defeating Shumagorath, fighting Scarlet Witch, facing off against whoever like the main threat happens to be, or one of the threats who are out there. But with that being said, guys, let me know what you think down in the comments section, right? Let me know how excited you are about this idea of Tobey Maguire being in Doctor Strange 2 and him fighting Scarlet Witch, right? Let me know. I mean, here's another question, right? Do you think he's gonna be like, listen, Wanda, we've all been through things. I have struggled. I lost my Uncle Ben. I understand the pain of losing someone you love, right? And then like he puts his hand on her shoulder and she slowly breaks down and then gives him a hug and he pats her on the back and says, it'll be okay. And then Wanda's like, I've seen the error of my ways. Time to ally with Tobey Maguire and Doctor Strange. And then Doctor Strange, and then like the montage music starts, you know, push it to the limit. And like they all go walking up to where like evil Doctor Strange is. And he's just like, my God, you know, and it's like, yeah, the fight's over, son. It's done. You're done, son. This victory is guaranteed. I don't know if it would be something like that. It would be cool. I kind of want to hear them play Push It to the Limit somewhere during the movie. I don't care where it is, just somewhere over the course of the movie. Push it to the limits. Walk along the razor's edge. Don't look back, just keep your head or you'll be finished. Open up the limit. I'm just saying, I think it would be cool if they played that song somewhere over the course of the movie. I'm sorry, I'm so excited, people. I'm really excited, right? I'm going to the Royal Rumble this weekend, so like, I'm really, really excited to go there and see that. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments section, for real and for true. Let me know how excited you are about the idea of seeing Tobey Maguire in Doctor Strange 2. And do you think we'll see Andrew? I don't know if we'll really see Tom. As I understand it, he's still kind of on the fence, and he felt like Spider-Man No Way Home was just a great place to end it. I guess the movie ended with it basically being an origin story, and then he's gonna kind of continue on and be Spider-Man. It's not like he died, so I don't really know if that's a good place to end it. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Thank you all for watching. This is enough rambling and nonsense from me, and I will catch you all later. Peace.